Okay, you know how it works. This is TNT, I'm Sarah. Tonight I'm here with Rafael and Apoena. This is not a class, even though we are going to learn so much by listening to others and, of course, sharing some thoughts. Today our topic is privileges. So we're talking about life experiences, different opinions, of course. And let's just start with the first question. Just a sec. Okay. Sorry, because I was listening to myself. Now it's better. I was getting confused. So the second question. Do you see yourself as a privileged person? Why or why not? Rafael, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm considered a privileged person. I think because my father, I'm study in private school, you know, it's and 90 years. It's not common here. It's very expensive, and I have one life tranquility, about money. Uh, my family have some main problems about money, but not more complicated. Not things is complex, but because my father think do you study very important with my family, for me and my brother. I'm considered a privileged person.
Nice. I think it is important to make this reflection because we look at other people and we think, oh, such a privileged girl or boy, but sometimes we don't realize our world, our reality, so that's the reason why I asked this question. And you, Apoena, are you a privileged person?
Yes, I am, because the same thing that Rafael said. I study in a good school since when I was a child. My family um, had and have good conditions, and me and my brother, I have a brother, can travel, and I think that's it. Study English in other school, practice sports, and so I'm considered a privileged person.
And here in my city, we have some schools, like most schools are small, like they don't have proper structure. But I would say you were talking about education, all of this, and private schools. My school, there was like a pool, and it was different because I wasn't used to this, And when I entered the school, it was like a shock for me because I had like a discount, all of this, but still, it was a privilege, So I thinking, looking back, definitely a privilege, and still has affects my life because of the past, because of the education I got when I was a kid and later, right? I got to go to college because of this foundation that I received as a kid. So I would say I'm a privileged person. And another reason, maybe I think the country, depending on how you look, because here we don't have like wars And we have rains, but we don't have like earthquakes, like strong natural events that could like cause a disaster or something bigger than rain, because we have rain, but it doesn't have the same proportions, you know. So in this way, I think it is a privilege to live here because of this part. But of course, there are a lot of problems that are not the best thing in the world, for sure.
Talking about education, I think it's our country, it's very, very, very poor. So if you have a good education, if you can pay school and study, it's a big privilege.
For sure. Couldn't agree more. And what do you think about the question number 3? Let's continue, okay? Apoena, what type of people get more privilege in our society? Ooh, what do you think?
Vamos falar, né? Let's talk about. I think depend the case, but we can talk about white people, we can talk about rich people, and I think that people certainly have more privilege in our sociedade. How can I say in English?
Society.
Society. So, in my opinion, these people have more privileges.
Yeah. And what type of privilege, like, and examples you can think?
It's complicated to say this, but talking about money, if you when you arrive in a store, for example, and you show that you have money to pay for the attendant like this and give you some privilege, I think.
Yeah. My mom, she's not even rich, but when I'm with her, people treat me better because I don't know, I think she looks like a rich person, and I don't. I don't know, but I have this perception, you know.
Yes, sometimes what do you do? It's important too for other people. So in my case, when I speak about my job or tell what I do, some people sometimes look me different. So
Yeah, your job is awesome, by the way. I had to comment this. I forgot, but it is awesome. And you, Rafael?
For me, I think that people reach, you know, because do you accessibility for better food, better study, better culture, you know, to travel, all the things. Do you pay for money? I think that's it. A good doctor, the best, all the doctor. Do you have any problem? Do you the money? These don't have problem about it because money pay for it. You know. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and what about influencers? Do you think they are privileged people? Sorry.
Influencers. I have one more pity because I have pity the influencers, because I think it's a how can I say, personagem. I don't know, the people fica presa num personagem, and this creates so many problems about mind, depression, anxious, I don't know, because do you stay, all the people see you, it's very complicated. Do you not stay wrong thing? It's wrong, it's a part. Do you live? Do you human live? Yeah. For me, I have one pity in this type of pity.
That's a fair point. I haven't thought about it in this way, because we see the good part, but they are paying a price for that. So your opinion is insightful. Yeah, it's bringing me new ideas about the topic. Yeah, I agree with you. Money, definitely, it is something that comes with privilege. I believe that also the social circle, because sometimes you are in the right place at the right time, so it brings you new opportunities about growing or even about having fun. That it is something that we all deserve in a while, once in a while, or more than that, we hope. So social circle can make a huge difference in our lives, and sometimes it can lead you to something negative, like drugs or bad consequences in our lives, so that is also something else that I can remember right now. So we were discussing education, all of this, and let's jump to question number 4. Rafael, can you read this one?
Yeah. In your opinion, is it a privilege to speak another language? Yeah, because in Brazil, do you have opportunity to speak other language? It's a privilege. It's not common all the people. Do you need pay, or I think that's difficult opportunity to free to learn new language, but it's very hard. It's very difficult. Yeah, I think that's do you privilege, do you speak or learn about other language, because open other opportunities your life. Do you communicate other people around the world? It's, for me, it's the form of the privilege.
Good points. And you, Apoena, do you agree?
Yes, in my opinion, today it's a privilege to speak another language like English, but I believe that in the past was more difficult to speak English than today, because in the past we had a internet, a computer, so it's more difficult, because this today is still difficult, but I believe that today is more easy, because the most of people have internet, have a cell phone, and that's it. I am a privileged person, because I can pay the TALKNTALK, for example, and I can study English. Other people maybe not, but there are a lot of things that you can do to improve your English.
It's getting better for those who don't have resources or a lot of money. They don't need to spend a long time in schools or anything like that, right? But I would say that is a privilege because we have the data, like in Brazil, it is not everyone. It's like less than 5% of population, right, that can communicate in English. Even though we have English in schools, like in basic education, but it's not like a strong foundation to develop confidence and even to bring the opportunities we know English can bring. And of course, other languages, I can say it's even a bigger privilege because I believe that nowadays it's still English, like the language of business and universal, like let's put it like this. But if you can communicate in French, German, Mandarin, and a lot of other options, in my perspective, it's even a bigger privilege because you could master English, and now you're trying the next one. So it means you can spend time with that because the basic is like done, So I believe that we can put ourselves in that way when we don't have to worry so much about basic stuff like what I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna live, because all of this is taken care because you have a job, you have a good life. So it is a privilege in a way. And number 6, what type of privilege would you like to have? Apoena, can you give us some examples?
Type of privilege would you like to have? Maybe travel quando eu quiser, and pass my credit card and buy a flight. That's it. Sem pensar muito. Uma resposta sem pensar muito.
What place would you like to visit?
I love to visit other country. I love travel. So independent the country, independent the city, if here in Brazil or other country, if I don't know yet, I like to visit. I would like to visit. So
Keep an open mind. Nice. And you, Rafael?
For me, pay the good school with my daughter, I pay the college with my wife. This is more expensive, but I can pay. To travel too, if a appointment speaks. I don't have liberty de Apoena because I'm working at home, but with I have planning in planning to weekends. For me, it's very tranquility for these days. Good food. I need to not need vontade with each anything with my family. I can pay, I can buy. Don't have problem about it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Rafael, you works you work at home, so this is a good privilege.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How long have you been working from home?
After pandemic. No, before 6 months before pandemic.
Oh, so you didn't have to change your workspace. You were already at home.
I speak. I need to explain my wife and my daughter because I'm working thinking. You know, do you see Rafael? Don't working. Sit in front of a computer and not I don't know, type every time. But I need to explain that, and it's hard, and it started because do you need how can I say that? It's be organized, you know, it's very complicated. It's need to organize it. Yeah, I think that's two things. I need to be I pay attention for this.
Yes, I think it's a privilege, but it's difficult for you because you have pay attention in your work and concentration, and your family too. Your family must understand that you are working in that moment. So
Yeah, I had this experience like for a short time, and it was quite hard to make people to calm down and don't scream like the dog's barking, all of a mess, all things are happening. I don't know how he does it, like with 10 animals in the house.
turn off the TV, don't, how can I say, deitar na cama. There are a lot of other good things to do at home. So
Yeah, it's a temptation to distract yourself. For sure. And this is a privilege I'd like to have for sure, because even though it was harsh, but I felt more free, you know, like I own my time because I could sleep more and exercise better. I didn't have to take the bus that I hate so much because it's crowded. People are in a bad mood. So working from home, even though it has all of these perspectives you mentioned, it's also something that I'd like to have. But right now I have to go to the office and use my computer there. So what is the difference, right? But that's how it works for now. And would you like to choose a question, Apoena or Rafael? Which number?
maybe number 8.
You are thinking alike. I like that. You say the same number. Number 8, yeah. You can start. Read the question.
You start.
No, you choose.
I
You answer.
Okay. What's the difference between rights and privileges? In my opinion, I believe that rights, we talk about law, we talk about rules for everyone. And when we talk about privilege, we talk about privilege some groups like students have some privileges that I'm not. How can I say idosos? Old people have privilege, and I'm not. So for me, I think that is a main difference between rights and privilege.
It's kind of tough, this question, right? Can you think about examples about like a right for students, like you mentioned, for example, or a privilege?
Yes, when I was a student, I had a health open, meia entrada, né? For example, in the shows, cinema, and now I'm not a student, so I have to pay all old people can take a bus and don't pay nothing and don't pay. So if I want to take a bus, I have to pay. So I think that's it.
Another question, just to make it interesting. Is that a privilege or a right? What do you think, in your perspective?
In my opinion, this example are privilege because we're talking about some skills about these groups. In my opinion, right is more generally, each people have rights, independent age, independent if you are or not student. For me, é assim.
Cool. Like having a house to live, it's all right because it's for everybody. This is an example that I can think of. Very good.
But there is a line, uma linha tênue, né? Nessa diferença aí entre rights and privileges.
Yeah, I agree. That raises a lot of discussions and sometimes not so polite. Rafael, what's your opinion?
I'm agree. If a poem speaks, but I think that's rights. It's how can I say that? It's a obligation of all. You know, it's all the people needs to rights because do you stay the society. The mode of control society, you know, and privilege. I think that's it's need all principle for the pool for people, you know, it's need because do you open opportunity for the people não tem and open opportunity for all the people, you know, because the rich don't have problem about anything, you know. I have one problem, pay, resolve. It's the for me, I think that's it, you know, because it's the money resolve so many problems, you know. But I think that's I think that's privilege. It's important for the poor people. You know, all the people. It's how can I say that? Encaixa in the minorities. You know, it's important to all the people, because it will open opportunity to study. I don't know, no knowledge. You know, it's very important. Do you say something about your privilege? You know, your rights too. I think that's it.
Yeah. The more I listen to you, the less I have a solid opinion, because it depends on a lot of factors, you know. But I agree with a point that is a thin line, like it's not so clear. This is a right, this is a privilege. End of talk, you know. But when I think about rights in my head, it comes like basic stuff, that the things that everybody needs to survive. But for example, privilege, sometimes I think we are confusing. When I say we, I say the society. We are confusing rights and privileges, because, for example, women. Some people say women have a lot of privilege, but these privileges try to balance like inequalities, try to balance history and some things that have happened in the past, you know. So for me, for that reason, they are rights. But if you think in maybe like a man in a different perspective, you can see them as privileged because they are not affecting you in a positive way. So you see another person enjoying this in a way, for you, that's a privilege. Do you understand my crazy mind? So it's not like, oh, it's closed, a privilege, or it's a right and end of talk. It's complex in my perspective. And number 9, would you rather be privileged or lucky? Or do you think there is a difference between those two things?
This question is about my prefer to be privileged or lucky.
That's it.
Can I
Which
answer?
one? Mm-hmm.
Both in my case. I would like to be both privileged and lucky, because I think it's nice to have some privilege, and sometimes it's necessary to have some privilege. Like you said, I am a woman, so some situation I need have, you need have some privilege, but and some cases it's nice to have to be a lucky person. So both.
And you mentioned about women, maybe for me it's all right, like retiring earlier, because we work twice at home. I'm sorry, but you cannot say that is the same thing. At least in most families here in our country, women have to work away and also in the house. So I think that is like a way of balancing this, and because of taking care of kids and other factors. But this is just my opinion about rights and privileges and all. And I think I'd rather be privileged, because I see luck as something, I don't know, that comes and goes, like it's not the same. It depends on the universe, on some things you cannot control. And maybe if I had privilege, I could enjoy it for more time, for a longer time. So, lucky, I think I would be lucky if I could find some money, and I would be privileged if I had like money constantly in my life. So thinking like that, privilege it's more attractive to me. But they are great in their own ways, right? And Rafael, number 9, privilege or luck?
I may look pretty bad by the way. I think that's privilege, because I think that do you personal privilege, do you stay lucky, in front of all the most people. That's it. I think that's, do you stay money, do you pay luck, you know?
You buy your own luck.
Open the doors, creating the great opportunities.
Yeah, I chose privilege as well. So you are not a bad person. Because I'm not a bad person, so you are not as well. We have time for one last question. Do you have another suggestion? Number 10, we answered, so maybe a different one.
Number 5, maybe. I
Yeah.
think we jump this number.
True. Go ahead.
How can privileged people help the less fortunate? It's a good question and a difficult to answer. I think some people don't have acesso, like education, like or other, and have a privilege help that people to study more, to know about other subjects, and think the future, plan the future. So I think privilege, it's important for me, for you, for all. So that's it.
You can be like a mentor for other people who are not so privileged as you, right? You can teach, you can help them to study. Gotcha. And Rafael?
Pay their bills, you know.
I want to find this person right now.
Yeah. I think that's the other form. It's not occupying the vacancy of those who need. For example, in how can I say that? Oh my gosh, nas faculdades públicas, the rich people occupying the vacancy for who needs those needs. Yeah, for me that's it.
Yeah, and there is a privilege, right, to study in a public university, especially like a elitist course, like a doctor school, because all day long you have to study, cannot work. So
yeah,
it's not like fair for everybody.
Exactly. It's a great point. It's, for me, not fair. The privileged people have a great opportunity to better schools, and don't create opportunity for the people needed, because this vacancy, it's for his need, not his pay. For me, just not make sense.
Yeah, it's interesting what you're saying. And there is a reality in our country, unfortunately. But it's like we all pay taxes, so for me it's kind of polemic to say, oh, you shouldn't go because you are not poor, because education should be for all of us, right? But at the same time, other people are losing their rights to do the basic, right, to study and pursue a better life, and it's not easy to handle this. So I'm bringing the others back so we can finish. Thank you so much for the conversation. It was so enriching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, Apoena and Rafael. And welcome back, Natalia. How was it for you? How was the topic, the conversation?
It was really interesting, Sarah. It's a good topic because, and a fun fact that everyone's there have like the same point of view in our room. So it was interesting.
So no fighting at all?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
God.
And how many questions could you answer?
I think we answered all of them.
Okay, good.
Katina needs to leave early, but we answer all of them, almost all of them.
No problem. We were discussing number 8. Robert, can you answer this question?
Number 8, what's the difference between rights and privileges? I can to repeat, health in Brazil is a right, you know, but it's totally different. And you can see some privileges when you need emergency, how can I say, surgery?
Surgery?
Surgery.
Yeah.
Emergency surgery in the public hospital it's so hard, you know. And I need to remember this health, women's jobs, you know, is some you can see privileges in the politics, you know. Of course, it's different, rights and privileges in this topic, but that's it, maybe.
Yeah, you have a good point. Politicians enjoy a lot of privilege that should be our rights in a way.
Yes. When I listen privilege, my brain shake because I need to talk about racism. I need to talk about different men and women's, a lot of subjects.
Yeah. I was talking a little about inequalities, that some things we have nowadays are to balance some inequalities that happened in the past. So they are not privileged, they are rights, but just
Yes.
a taste about the
Maybe
conversation.
maybe Apoena have a perfect subject about this in the future. You control traffic, you know, yes?
Traffic controller, yes.
Traffic controller. It's maybe a man work, you know, in the past, you know?
Yes, in the past was, but
Yes.
in my case, when I was learning about this, in my turma, there are more women than men. And
Go girls.
nowadays, nowadays in my work here in Salvador, there are more women than men.
Okay. Have you met Belle? Apoena?
Sorry?
Do you know
Yeah.
Alberlene?
We work together, but she control Salvador area and me control Aracaju area. But I work here in Salvador, but my area is in Sergipe, Aracaju.
Amazing. She's great. I always talk with her. And just to finish, Wesley, number 6. What type of privilege would you like to have?
I have no idea. As I said before to the side room, I don't like privileges. I like to work myself with build my future, and just have my reward like I have today, my rewards, because I just worked hard and I keep working, in my career, and that's it.
I'm so proud of you. You are a better person than I am, because I would like to have some privilege, but let's talk about in another moment.
But in my opinion, it's important to say that privilege, it's not a bad thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, true. Like, if you have a good father, for example, in a country a lot of people don't, this is not a bad thing, right? Is it a privilege? But yeah, it is not your fault. Like, you should feel guilty about it. That is important observation to make. Guys, thanks a lot for your time. Robert, you're muted, I think.
All right. Rafael, have a privilege. Look at your shirt.
Oh no, I don't agree. Yeah. I say goodbye now because of that, because I don't like Corinthians. But anyway, see you next week. Okay, take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.